Hi everyone, we are again at Manchester Airport and today we are going to Morocco. Ifrane, Chefchaouen. We are taking a much awaited road trip to the north of Morocco and we are starting from Casablanca all the way to Ifrane, the snow capital and mini Switzerland of Morocco. From there we will head to the leather city, Fez, and the final stop will be the blue paradise, Chefchaouen. We are going to drive around 1000 kilometers on beautiful Moroccan highlands and I'm super excited, so let's go. And the journey begins in Manchester beautifully with one of my favorite airlines, Royal Air Maroc. Look at this legroom in economy. Are you kidding me? It's just amazing. And wait when the food comes. Never had such an amazing food in a 3-hour flight, to be honest. 10 out of 10 for everything. And as soon as you land, you know you have reached the kingdom of football. Beautiful airport with an amazing vibe. So the first stop is Casablanca and here we are staying with family for a couple of nights. Of course, as soon as you land, you are welcomed with hot couscous followed by delicious Moroccan sweets and Moroccan mint tea. Now we have already explored Casablanca so many times before, so we just went out around the neighborhoods, tried some amazing food and local cafes, and traveled in the local taxi like we belong here. But for the road trip we do need a car, and the car we rented out at this place was fresh from the showroom. That's right, they rented us a brand new car. It's unbelievable. So we start our road trip on beautiful Moroccan motorways in a brand new car with quite heavy rain on the way. And almost 300 kilometers later, we find ourselves in a snow heaven, Ifrane. All I can say is that they do not lie when they call it mini Switzerland. Yes, I've been to every corner of Switzerland and Ifrane is as beautiful as any of Swiss villages in winter. In Ifrane, we rented a cozy apartment with a much needed fireplace where we will be spending 2 nights. After getting some rest, we headed out to the small market and had the tastiest grilled chicken for dinner. After dinner, we walked around in snow and took some mandatory pictures with the famous lion. And of course, we ended the day with Moroccan mint tea. And after that, we went back to the apartment to get a much needed sleep. The next morning, we started our day with the most authentic Moroccan breakfast in a tiny cafe. Hot musamman with honey and cream cheese with Moroccan mint tea. They say the smaller the cafe, the tastiest the food. That turned out to be quite true. And after a heavy breakfast, we drove to the famous Michelin ski resort. Driving through the dreamy Ifrane roads with everything covered in snow, it's just a spectacular view. You really forget that you are in Africa. Unfortunately, the road to the resort was closed due to heavy snowfall. So we improvised like our local Moroccan brothers and sisters. And we found ourselves a perfect spot for some snow action. And before we realized, we ended up spending hours here. And with hours of running in snow, hunger kicked in. So we drove back to the city and found ourselves freshly made Moroccan donuts, schfinch. After that, we just roamed around in the peaceful neighborhoods covered entirely in snow. For dinner, we came to Ifrane's favorite restaurant and enjoyed a perfectly baked pizza. And this concluded a real fun day in Ifrane. The next morning started with another authentic Moroccan breakfast. This time in a nice cafe but equally tasty. After that, we headed straight to the place we wanted to visit so bad in Ifrane, Chefchaouen University, one of the best and definitely most beautiful universities in North Africa with a stunning campus. Yes, it does snow in Africa, and quite a lot apparently. It was semester break, so we really enjoyed the tour in peace and roamed around the entire campus for hours. Then we said goodbye to this stunning winter town and headed towards the next chronicle of our road trip, Fez, the leather capital of the world. And after an hour's drive, we were in one of the oldest cities in the world, home to not only the oldest leather tanneries but also to the oldest university in the world. Both we were super excited to visit. And in Fez, we booked a proper Moroccan Riad. Which was definitely the comfiest stay in our entire road trip. So after checking in, we just stayed in the hotel the entire evening. Watched Morocco play football and win, and we celebrated this win with a sizzling grill for dinner. The next morning, we woke up to a beautiful Moroccan breakfast in hotel before heading out to explore the old Medina. Now, the old Medina in Fez is home to some of the historic places in the world. And not to forget, it's covered with 9,000 streets. So it's inevitable to get lost. But the locals are really nice and are always there to help. After 10 minutes, I'm still in these narrow streets, which look scary, but they smell really nice. Everyone is making bread. And after a long walk through the narrow streets, we just casually ended up in the oldest leather tannery in the world. And the scenes were just epic. And quite smelly, to be honest. Well, of course, because it's real leather. But the mint they give you actually helps. The tanneries were a sight for sure. It's a spectacular experience to witness the world's finest leather being crafted. And then you enter the leather shops and wanna buy every possible thing. It's very hard to resist. because trust me, this is the finest handmade leather in the entire world at a bargain price. So we bought some leather bags, got some souvenirs including the local treat, nougat. Back in the narrow streets, this time we ended up in another historic place, Jamia Al-Qarawin, the oldest university in the world. Founded by a Muslim woman, yes, and still operational. This is the place that shows you the true Islamic heritage and actually gives you goosebumps. We roamed around in the university, which is also a mosque, so we prayed inside and headed straight for lunch in the old Medina for a lovely Moroccan tagine. This concluded our time in one of my favorite cities in the world. And we headed to the final destination of our road trip, the Blue City, Chefchaouen, one of the most visited cities in the entire world, and for a good reason.
Welcome to the Blue City, Chefchaouen.
A little blue heaven on the Atlas Mountains, and it mesmerizes you straight away. We booked a small hotel in the heart of Medina named Kutubia, and it was just mind-blowing. However, finding parking near the hotel is a real struggle, so we parked a bit far and hiked back to the hotel. And as soon as we settled in, we went out for a stroll in the market. Beautiful streets all covered in blue, this place just had a different charm to it. It was raining the entire time, but we didn't mind it at all, because Chefchaouen has a different charm even in rain, and everything still looked amazing. We explored the old Medina, bought some souvenirs, went to a local cafe to grab some coffee and Moroccan pastries. We then headed back to the old Medina to explore local shops. And landed in the food street and had one of the best meals of the entire trip. L'hammer burkouk, that sizzling meat with prawns, one of the finest Moroccan dishes. It was already midnight, but Chefchaouen was still alive like broad daylight. So we walked around a bit after dinner and ended our day with some good night's sleep. The following morning started with the most memorable breakfast of the entire trip. Everything homemade in the hotel to perfection. We checked out after the breakfast, explored the old Medina again in broad daylight with no rain this time before saying final goodbye to the blue paradise. Now it was the journey back to Casablanca with a good 350 kilometers. Over 5 hours drive on breathtaking Moroccan highways. We drove back in the heaviest rainfall I have ever seen in my entire life. Yes, it was scary. So we made a quick stop on the services to let the rain settle while we enjoyed another pot of Moroccan mint tea. We hit the road again with lifelong beautiful memories running through our mind of this beautiful trip, unforgettable Moroccan hospitality, and we were finally back in Casablanca after exactly 1000 kilometers drive. We handed over the car, rested at home for a couple of days before we took the flight back to Manchester. It was one of the most beautiful road trips of my life, and I highly recommend it. And apparently, it's a lot better in summer. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and make sure to subscribe to watch the next road trip.